When you look at a massive, active construction site, your eyes are immediately drawn to the permanent structures. You see the towering concrete skeletons, the heavy machinery moving earth, and the steel beams rising into the sky. But if you remove all those permanent materials, you reveal a hidden network underneath. You find the temporary fencing, the office trailers, the portable lighting, and the power lines that actually keep the site running. Everyone obsesses over the final building, measuring success by the square footage or the architectural finishes. Almost no one pays attention to the temporary infrastructure required to actually put those pieces together. Without this invisible, temporary foundation functioning perfectly, the permanent structure can never be built profitably, and it certainly cannot be built safely. When a project devolves into a disorganized, chaotic mess, the root cause usually goes back to a misunderstanding of the project manual. The manual starts with Division 00, the legal contract defining who plays and their rights. Divisions 02 through 49 represent physical materials, the pieces on the board. Between them sits Division 01, general requirements. This master rulebook dictates exactly how the game is played. Because of where it sits in the manual, Division 01 creates an immediate ripple effect. Changing a single administrative rule here, like adjusting the timeline for submittal reviews or altering site access rules, automatically alters the workflow for every single trade on the site. Division 01 serves as the master operating system that directly dictates the physical reality on the job site. That theoretical rulebook translates directly into physical reality out in the dirt, specifically under Section 01500 of the specifications. This section covers temporary facilities. It outlines the absolute necessity to build a temporary, fully functioning mini-city before you can begin vertical construction. This mini-city requires foundational components to survive: office trailers for management, portable toilets for the crew, and temporary power grids. Then add logistical elements to keep it functioning: perimeter fencing, roll-off dumpsters, and diesel light towers. Mastering the precise layout of this temporary city establishes operational discipline before the chaos of the heavy trades begins. Yet there is a striking financial paradox in the industry. These temporary facilities frequently account for a mere 0 to 2% of the project budget. Despite that tiny percentage of the budget, temporary facilities dictate 100% of the site's daily productivity. Managing this space effectively requires a formal practice known as Construction Site Utilization Planning, or CSUP. CSUP is the strategic planning method used to determine the exact location of temporary facilities to optimize construction efficiency over the life of the project. This chart shows the specific spatial priorities that planners must map out. Looking closely at the top data, parking lot locations, job trailers, and job site access points rank as the most heavily prioritized logistical hurdles. When teams ignore CSUP, the physical consequences are immediate. Subcontractors end up fighting over limited workspace, blocking vital travel paths, and cramming materials into overlapping staging areas. These space conflicts create a compounding fallout. They crush profit margins, elevate safety hazards on site, and cause severe schedule delays that are nearly impossible to recover from. Underestimating the cheapest, temporary part of the project is the fastest way to bankrupt the most expensive, permanent part. That urgency is why the first 90 days of a construction project are known as the vertical launch. This is the critical make-or-break window where the site's trajectory is set. Small coordination gaps in week 1 multiply exponentially as the schedule progresses. A delayed dumpster delivery or an uncoordinated temporary power grid pushes back the excavation team. That delay holds up the foundation pour, which ends up completely derailing the master schedule. In practice, a successful early site setup means the environment is secure, fully powered, well-lit, and logically organized before the heavy trades ever arrive for work. When those first 90 days run smoothly, the rest of the project operates on a firm foundation of proactive control, avoiding constant reactive chaos. Managing this temporary city is a logistical nightmare. It usually involves juggling a half-dozen separate vendors for trailers, fencing, toilets, and lighting, leading to fragmented invoices and delivery schedules that never quite align. If these site services are coordinated, you get logistical friction, like multiple delivery trucks blocking a single access point, that puts the entire project schedule at risk before the first slab is even poured. SiteSet Pro solves this by consolidating those fragmented vendors into a single point of coordination. They provide a turnkey solution for Division 01 setup, handling everything from modular offices to temporary utilities through one point of contact. As a service-disabled veteran-owned small business, they bring a military-grade discipline to job site mobilization. They apply a structured process to the vertical launch, ensuring the site is operational and compliant without the project manager having to manage individual rental vendors. When you move from piecemeal rentals to a unified site setup partner, you don't just secure your perimeter, you set the stage for total project success.